2. It's Friday, 19 July, and it's the Matt and Walter Week 3 update regarding our special assessment.
Thanks, Matt. Matt's given me the opportunity to let you know that we have paid in full the Mountain View Golf Course renovation loan.
Awesome news, Walter.
Yes, it is.
And so this was a big week for us. After a couple of things happened last week, we got the principal balance down below $2.7 million. And this past Friday, David Castro, our comptroller, made a deposit into our reserve fund of $1.7 million because of all the POA funds that have been received. So thank you. That enabled us to sit around the table on Monday and complete a strategy that I had been working with Larry Santor for the previous week. And how do we get this thing to zero as quickly as we can? Well, Mark Ecker went to work on Monday. He paid the $590,000 we had available in special assessment funds. And then on Tuesday, Mark got a payoff, and it was slightly different than the number I show, our principal balance. And he got that payoff number, and he applied funds from our reserve savings account to pay off what he was told was the closeout at that time. But because the bureaucracy must be served, there was one more step to complete to wrap this loan up, and that occurred on Wednesday, 17 July, with the payment of $21.95 to effect payoff of the collateral termination fee.
All right, just a little bit more on the sources of funds. Just like Matt mentioned, we use special assessment funds, and we also use reserve saving account funds. So just a little bit more on the special assessment. I'll update you on where we're at with the special assessment funds. Again, over cap, we assessed 3,184 homes, $1,500 each, which brings in $4,776,000. Over the past 3 weeks, we have collected and applied to the loan balance $1,886,000, which leaves us special assessments due $2,890,000.
Well, Walter, that $2,890,000 is still outstanding. When it comes in, we're going to pay ourselves back. A 0% loan that we took from ourselves that we're going to pay back in the coming weeks. And we owe ourselves $2,038,434.60. That is the combination of the reserve savings account payment we made this week, as well as the collateral termination fee. So you take the funds that are still outstanding, we pay ourselves back. There will be a future reserve fund contribution of over $850,000 that's going to be made into our reserve account.
Great, Matt. So a little bit more about the reserve fund contribution. The reserve fund contribution, as Matt covered, is made up of the Mountain View loan proceeds of $494,706. This is money that was not used from the $6 million that was borrowed. And the special assessment fund will actually have an excess of $356,859 that was not used or needed to pay down the loan. This is important, and the aggressiveness that we use to pay this loan off, because we saved $16,000 of interest just this month. The first 2 payments this month saved us $4,300, and this last week we saved $12,000.
So I want to talk for just a second on how fortunate we were on timing. As the POA and the special assessment overlapped, the POA has been coming in, and our comptroller, David Castro, made a contribution of $1.7 million into our reserve account this past Friday. It allowed Walter and his financial team and a couple of members of the board and some of our trusted advisors to sit around here, around the table on Monday, to look at the possibility of paying this loan off in full. At the conclusion of our deliberations, we determined that there was no risk to our current projects, and there was nothing to prevent us from moving forward.
So talking about moving forward, I will go ahead and let you go, Matt.
Yes,
It's your slide.
so our original intent was to pay off this loan before the September 9th payment due date. If you recall way back at the beginning through all of our presentations, that was the target date. And we had a destination and things changed. My colleague Larry Santora is the author of the idea of let's pay this thing down. Let's pay the principal down as funds were made available to us. You, the residents, made funds available to us. In employing that strategy, Walter showed you the $16,000 that we benefited in saving interest in July. The really good news is the $49,175 that we saved by paying our payment, not having an August payment. So if you look at the $49,000 and the $16,000, that's another $65,000 in savings on top of the $532,000 we set out to do. In sum, this is almost $600,000 of savings this community is benefited from through the actions of paying this loan off in the manner that we have.
Okay, there's still some work to do ahead, so this is the way ahead. The staff will continue to collect the outstanding special assessment funds that are still due. The board will take the $3 million that has been freed up since we paid the loan off and find a higher yield instrument to invest in, and we will continue to keep the residents informed of our journey here.
And so you're right, the journey's not over. We've got to pay ourselves back. We've got to give a full accounting to our residents on the actions in the coming weeks that allow us to do that. But Walter and I, on behalf of the board and his staff, want to thank you, our members. We want to thank you because you put us in this position. You stood behind the thought to pay off this loan. You provided the resources to make it happen, and now it's done. We are now debt-free, and we enjoy outstanding financial strength as a community. And there's a lesson learned here for all of us. But we members of the board, working in collaboration with the staff and you, our fellow residents, are going to produce winning outcomes every time that are in the best interest of our community. So on behalf of the board, the staff, we want to say thank you. This journey's been interesting, challenging, thought-provoking, and it's certainly been an education. But we want you to know how much we appreciate you and how proud we are to continue to serve you. Have a great day. Thanks.
Thank you.